Hey guys, Scott here. I want to have a quick conversation about something I talked in my stream about yesterday because I think I noticed an interesting pattern and I wanted to talk about it. It was the fact that yesterday and the day before, I've noticed my survivor queue times have been significantly better, even late at night or later at night, not late at night, like in the late evening. And my killer queues have actually gotten worse. Now, typically that would indicate that there are now more killers than survivors, or the ratio has shifted so there are more killers than before. Because previously, killers would have instant queues indicating there's not enough killers. Survivors would have much longer queues indicating there's too many survivors. And that's been the case for seems like months now. However, I noticed the past couple of days that's changed. And I was talking to my chat, and we were trying to like analyze why that's happening because it's very weird to have a non-instant killer queue nowadays. So at least during the time that I play, it's been very consistent for months. So I was trying to think about what changed, and the thing that changed, the only significant variable I could think of was a bunch of new fun games came out all around the same time. There's a lot of interesting stuff. Lost Ark, Dying Light 2, the new PoE League. There's a lot of things that are grabbing other people's attention. Now, you would think if a new game comes out, okay, well, why would it disproportionately affect the player base? For every four survivors that goes to play Dying Light or whatever, then a killer player will leave too. So technically the ratio shouldn't change, but that's not what happened. The ratio has absolutely changed. So what that indicates is more survivors left to go play other games than killers. And that is why we tried to think about why that would be the case. And I think I have a theory as to why that is the case. I think it boils down to Survive with Friends, honestly. If you're playing I think survivors view the game on average a bit more casually than killers, because of Survive with Friends. And the reason that is because when you're playing with friends, it doesn't really matter what the game is that you're playing. If you're having a bad time as Survivor, at least if you're with your friends, you can still joke around and still have a pretty good time. As long as you're doing something with friends, it doesn't really matter what you're doing. So the fact that some games of DBD can be frankly pretty miserable, it doesn't really matter as much when you have friends to cushion the blow. When you're playing killer, though, you don't have that. If you're having a bad game, that's it. You don't have anyone to rely on. It's just you experiencing the bad game, and it's just solely you, and that's it. There's no one to, take a load off with. So that is, I think, again, this is just theory. That's the why I think that Survivor players take the game a little bit more casually. Not to imply that there are not super serious survivors and that there are not casual killers, but I think on average that's the case, as shown by the change in the ratio in players. So a bunch of people go and quit the game to go, not quit the game, just take a break to go play another game. But killers sort of feel locked into continuing to play DBD, which I thought was kind of interesting. And I think it does boil down to the fact that they don't have anyone to share the burden of a bad game with. And playing this game with friends really makes it not quite as bad. Even if you're getting face camped or something like that, you guys can shit talk the killer on Discord and still have a bit more fun than if you were just solo queuing, suffering in that matter. So I think that's why. I think that's why it seems like survivors tend to go try other games more than killers. And it's the only way I can explain why the queues have sort of shifted. And I'm willing to bet in maybe a week, after people have, done their playthroughs or they've stopped playing or they realize Lost Ark is going to last a week before it dies, then they're going to switch back. And I just thought it was interesting to look at this specific moment in time when that shift occurred, when a new game came out. I'm willing to bet when Elden Ring comes out, probably the same thing is going to happen again, because you can play that with your friends as well. So I'm willing to bet that's going to be the case. And I just wanted to discuss it because I thought there was sort of an interesting psychological element as to why more survivors leave to go play other games than killer. Because it's not like survivors are all of a sudden fed up with the game now. It's like, no, the only variable is that there's a bunch of new exciting games. So it makes sense, right? But I'm curious to hear what you guys think about it. That's it. Just a quick little random thought. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.